Have you ever walked out of a conversation and wished you had said less? Or maybe said more? There's that sinking feeling when your words come out too fast, too sharp, too loud. Or when you stay silent, and the silence feels heavier than regret. Sometimes we speak to defend ourselves. Sometimes to impress someone. Other times we stay quiet. Not because it's wise, but because we're afraid. In this world, loud, fast, relentless, we're taught to speak up, to stand out, to not be ignored. But we're rarely taught when not to. And so we talk, to fill space, to avoid discomfort, to prove we exist. But the truth is, some of the most important things we've ever learned about ourselves, about life, came in moments of silence. And some of the deepest wounds we carry came from words we couldn't take back. So the question is not, should you speak or stay silent? The real question is, do you know when to do which? Because in every moment, in every argument, every meeting, every quiet room, we are always standing at a crossroad. To speak or to stay silent. And that choice, however small, shapes who we are becoming.
But you're not the only one standing in that silence. Thousands of years ago, in the dusty streets of Athens, a man named Socrates walked among people who thought they knew everything. They loved to talk, to show off, to win arguments. He didn't. One day, a man rushed up to him. He said, "I have something to tell you about your friend." But Socrates didn't nod. He didn't lean in. He asked, "Before you speak, is what you're about to say true? Is it good? Is it useful?" The man paused. The answer to all three was no. So Socrates replied, "Then why say it at all?" That story has survived for centuries, not because it's clever, but because deep down we know how much damage words can do when they slip past our lips unfiltered. In the East, there's a different saying. It doesn't come with logic or conditions, just a quiet warning passed down like an old lantern. If you don't know, stay silent. Let those who know speak. If you know, speak. If you don't, lean on silence. And somewhere between Socrates' sharp reason and the Eastern stillness, there's something we've forgotten. Silence is not weakness, and speaking is not always strength. In a world obsessed with talking, these old voices are asking us, before you open your mouth, do you truly know why you're about to?
The wisdom of Socrates is deceptively simple. 3 questions. Just 3. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? At first glance, they seem obvious, almost too obvious. But ask yourself, how often do your words pass through all 3 filters? You hear something, it upsets you. You want to tell someone else. Do you pause? Do you check the source? Do you ask yourself if it helps anyone to repeat it? We rarely do, because in the moment, we want release, not truth. We want relief, not goodness. We want to feel seen, not necessarily be useful. And that's when words become weapons, coded in emotion, wrapped in urgency, thrown without care. They hurt others, but more often, they come back and hurt us. The first filter, truth, is already a mountain to climb. Most of what we share is not truly verified. It's impressions, assumptions, half-memories, and feelings. We hear someone's tone and assume their intent. We read one comment online and label someone forever. We interpret a silence and speak as if we know. But we don't, and we speak anyway. Then comes the second filter, goodness. Even if it's true, is it kind? There's a certain pleasure in pointing out someone's flaws. We call it being honest. But honesty without kindness is cruelty in disguise. The truth can heal, or it can destroy, depending on how and why we use it. Finally, the third filter, usefulness. This is where most words go to die, because a lot of what we say is not meant to help, it's meant to vent, to judge, to feel important. We speak because silence is uncomfortable, because filling the air makes us feel like we have control. But is it useful? To the person listening? To the situation? To the future? Often no. And if it's not true, not good, not useful, then Socrates would ask, why say it at all? But silence isn't easy either. Silence forces us to face our own uncertainty. When we don't know something, but pretend we do, we protect our ego. To admit ignorance feels like failure. To stay quiet feels like weakness. But the Eastern wisdom says otherwise. If you don't know, stay silent. Let those who know speak. It doesn't shame you for not knowing. It simply says, rest your weight on silence. Don't push past your edge just to be seen, because the greatest damage we cause in conversations, in relationships, in public discourse, comes not from ignorance itself, but from refusing to admit we don't know. And in a world that constantly rewards loudness, stillness becomes an act of rebellion. Think about the meetings where the loudest voice gets the credit, even if they said nothing wise. Think about the dinner table where someone says something false and you stay silent to avoid conflict, or worse, join in just to belong. These are the moments where silence and speech collide. But the wise don't speak to win, they speak to serve. And when they don't know, they don't fake it. They listen. There's a quiet power in that, the kind that doesn't need to shout. Because here's the truth. Not everything that's true needs to be said. Not everything that's kind is helpful. And not everything that's helpful must be spoken by you. Sometimes the best contribution is your silence. But silence doesn't mean absence. It means presence without pollution. It means you're holding space, not rushing to fill it. You're choosing your moment, not reacting to every impulse. And when you do speak, after silence, your words carry weight. Because they are rare, because they are rooted. That is how wisdom sounds. Not fast, not loud, but clear, anchored. And in time, others notice. They stop to hear you, not because you always speak, but because when you do, it matters.
You don't need to be a philosopher to live this way. You don't need robes or books or long hours of meditation. You just need to pause. The next time someone shares a rumor at work, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it useful? If it's none of those, let it die with you. When a friend vents, don't rush to fix or judge. Just listen. Sometimes silence is the most powerful support. When you're online, typing a comment or reacting to a post, ask yourself, does this help anyone? Or am I just adding noise? Even in love, especially in love, this matters. We throw words at people we care about in moments of frustration. But many wounds don't come from fists. They come from words said too quickly, too thoughtlessly. So take a breath. Say less, mean more. If you're not sure what to say, try saying nothing. Not as avoidance, but as clarity. Because speech is like salt. A little brings flavor. Too much, and it ruins everything. Try this tonight. When you're tempted to fill the silence, don't. Let it be there. Let your presence speak louder than your voice. And tomorrow, when you do speak, you'll feel the difference.
Not because you said something brilliant, but because you said something that mattered.
In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, what if your power is in your silence? Not the silence of fear, not the silence of passivity, but the silence of knowing. Knowing when to speak and when to wait. When to say something sharp and clear, and when to say nothing at all. Because your stillness already says everything. Some voices shake rooms, others change hearts, and some don't need to raise their tone because their presence carries weight. Maybe the next time you sit with someone, you won't rush to reply. You'll pause, you'll watch, you'll feel the space between words. And in that space, you'll find something deeper than conversation. Wisdom isn't always spoken. It's lived, it's chosen, it's heard in the quiet between noise. So the next time you ask yourself, should I speak? Let the question echo inside you. And if the answer is silence, stand tall in it. That too is strength.